So I'm doing this. These are gloss black wheels. As I mentioned, this is for gloss clear coated wheels only. Raw aluminum, this doesn't apply. This is not a video for you. This is not what I recommend. Go find somebody who knows how to aluminum polish. I'm not good at it. Even though I've done it and been successful, they don't really sell the products that I used to use. So I've never figured out a new way to do it. So gloss, black wheels. I don't care if they're black or red, as long as they're gloss and they have a clear coat on them. These are from the factory. They clear coat most of every factory wheel. Now you may have a satin wheel or a flat wheel, which has minimal shine or no shine at all. This does not apply. You do not polish them. I do not recommend claying them either. They can mar up the surface and you can't correct it. When you try to correct satin wheels or flat wheels or something that's not high gloss like paint, like these, or paint on a car, it will change, it'll bring shine out of it. So if you miss any areas, you might have right here's a real hard spot to get into. You'll have a satin area and then you have a shiny area. It'll be inconsistent. You'll lose your matte you'll lose your matte finish. You'll lose your satin finish. They'll start turning glossy. I've never done it. I just know that's how it works. So this is only going to apply to a clear coated wheel that I am showing you today. So from a distance, these don't look too bad, but I'm going to show you the real thing. You can see just from my shop lights how scratched up that is. That is not dirt. Those are all scratches. You can see them. I've got a swirl light that I can really pull out and show you how bad they are. It almost looks like in direct sunlight or in a light I have, it almost looks like spider webs. I used to think there were spider webs on people's cars, and in all reality it was a black car with scratches in it, and there was just that many of them. So these are pretty bad. These have been through, I would say, a tunnel wash or a brush car wash if you don't know what a tunnel wash means. So they have the brush, rolling brushes. This is what it does to wheels and paint after a while. So I don't use them. So I'm gonna polish these out, and I wash my own cars. I don't drive them through those. I'll use a touchless, but outside of that, that's it. And you don't even find me in a touchless. So now that you've seen it up close, once you see scratches, you can't unsee them. Or once you know what they are, you can't unsee them when you see them on somebody else's car. I'm guilty of it. Kind of why I have to take care of my stuff the way I do. Why I'm going to show you today. I hadn't found a lot of videos on polishing wheels like this. I searched and searched and searched. I could find people doing satin wheels and matte wheels and aluminum wheels, and it just didn't give me what I wanted. So I feel like I want to shoot this video here to show you how to do this. If you've ever polished paint, it's really no different. I'm going to be using the Adams Micro Polisher. I'll put links to all this stuff that I used in this video in the description so you can take a look. This is a coarse roll. I'm gonna do a two-step on this. I know what it's gonna take to fix these. I actually did the back ones already. You call it cheating, call it whatever you want. I just didn't think of making a video on it until the front wheels. So I already know what it's gonna take, and I don't even know if it won't take all the scratches out, a two-step, but it'll get them to where they're not really noticeable unless you're really looking for them. So I'm gonna go ahead, use the Micro Polisher from Adams. This is not the backing plate they give you. Here I got my other battery charging. Reach in here, you get a thing of tools like this, a thing of attachments. So you're gonna get a rotary, and this has a rotary, a 3mm, and a 12mm DA throw, which stands for dual action. So I'm using the 12mm. It gets a little tight in here. Might bump a few places with the backing plate. I'm okay with that. I want these swirls going, and I don't want to use a rotary. I'm not good with a rotary. It causes swirl marks, especially in black, that are very noticeable. I stay away from it. I'm not good with a rotary, so I'm not trying to master something I'm not good at. But this is the backing plate that you would normally get with it, which is an inch. I think this is 1.5 inches wide. The pads I'm using are 1.25 inches wide. So that leaves my backing plate being too big for where the Velcro goes on. So I have modified mine, and it took some time. If you guys want to, I can put links down in the description. Pick this up, I think it's $250 now. I think I picked it up for $200 at the time. I've had it for a 1.5 years now. year. So prices have gone up just like everything else. I actually got this from Max Shine. I did some research on how big the actual Velcro area was on this pad that I wanted to match my bigger pads, and it's 1.25, so 1.25 inches. Max Shine sells, and I can only find it in Canada, a 1.185, I think is what this backing plate is. So it's just a touch smaller. That's okay. I'd rather have it just a touch smaller than too big. I start beating up places and I can't get in places. I start scratching up things I don't want to. I already tried it, did it with my pickup, ended up ordering this. Cost me $10 for the piece and I think $12 to get it shipped. Whatever, I didn't care. I wanted these pads. I wanted to match my big pads with my small pads. Kind of hard to find a system out there that they match everything. So micro polisher from Adams. This is a Max Shine backing plate. These are Rupes pads that I'm going to be using. That's all I use as of right now. This is their coarse wool. We'll do some cut, and I'm going to use it with Sonex Cut Max. And then I will finish up and go back around them with Rupes yellow fine pad with Sonex Perfect Finish. You can also use Rupes's abrasives, polishing and cutting compounds. I don't know how well they work. These work. I stick with what I know. I'm not too interested in branching out. I got a system and learn how to use it. That's big key with this stuff. If you wanted to one-step these, just go around them once just to make them look better. I did it. I did try a one-step because I wanted to try to take off as little as possible. I used a Rupes yellow wool. It did pretty good with cut and finish from Sonex. It didn't give me where I was looking for. I'm looking to dig deeper. I think for a lot of people, a one and done basically kind of deal would be great. Just go around them once. A lot of people don't have enough patience to do two steps, especially if you're learning. So I'll link pads that will work. I'll link this setup that I'm going to use here today, and I will also link up what will fit that is a similar pad combination with pads that'll fit the original backing plate. So if you don't want to go through what I went through, that's fine. I just like things matching, so I went through the trouble, is what it is. I got to get a couple extras of these, so if I ever destroyed, I still have extra backing plates. So also pad cleaning. Big thing. I use Shop Air. So put some dabs on here of compound, spread it around, and I'll show you how to do that. Go ahead and polish compound. Whenever I'm all done with that, after every pass, I brush out my pad with the Rupes claw tool. Has little bristles here. You just brush out your pad. Shop Air. Blow it out, the existing that's left. I'm actually going to start with blowing out my pads because they sometimes have a little bit of dust left in them from the last time I used them. That'll help get some of that out. Kick it on high speed, blow out the rest of it, and then I'll try to keep dust from building up here. I'd figure that out with that. It's the only thing I don't like about Perfect Finish. It does it. Cut Max isn't too bad about it. So let's go ahead and get started here. So I'm going to start with priming my pad. This is a fresh, brand new pad. I actually have never used this one. I got some other ones in there that I used, but I want to break out a new pad on this, and I'll go through for this one wheel. I'll go through one of each pad. So I'll go around the wheel once with this, and then when I got to do the other front, I will get a new pad of each. So always shake your stuff. Always shake your chemicals, because these have abrasives and they can settle. Good shake. Get the little pop top. We're gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna get this all around here. Probably a little bit too much, but that'll be all right. To get started, I'd rather have a little more to start than a little less. Try to minimize sling. So what I like to do is just get this on all the fibers. Get it in there and all the fibers. And that's where I say I think I got too much. It looked like a lot, but once you get it in the fibers here, you really start noticing it ain't as much as you thought it was. So try to cover all your fibers the best you can. So then Now this has got diminishing abrasive, so as you work it, it'll get finer and finer. This is a cut, so I mean it'll never finish unless you're dealing with a real hard clear coat. Wheels do tend to be softer clears to some extent. So I got all that primed up there. I'm just gonna do a couple little dots right there. Always close your caps. Start off on speed 1. And then I like to break up my wheel. So I start just beyond my valve stem, next spoke beyond, all depending if you got 5-spoke wheels, it really doesn't matter in my case. But in here, I'm gonna do 2 sections. So here, this side of this spoke, this side of this spoke, this side, and these 2 bottoms. That's gonna be what I'm covering right now. And then I'll break that up, and I do believe there's 5 sections of that. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm gonna finish up with my valve stem last. And then either I'll keep going in that direction when I switch pads, or I'll actually go backwards. So let's go ahead, get a little bit of product on here, smear it around. And you're gonna wanna watch, because these are tight. So I gotta watch what I'm doing here. So I'm gonna go ahead and smear a little bit of that around, a little on the other side here. And understand I'm not gonna hit every last little nook and cranny here, but they definitely clean up a lot better than they were, so. Just a couple wee dots. All right, turn the speed down all the way to 1. I'm gonna start down here. And what we're doing is spreading out the product. So I just wanna spread it out. We're not doing anything yet, just get it spread out a little bit here. All right, so now I'm gonna turn my speed up to 3.5. I have a full battery, I have another one on charge. I normally get most of a wheel done before, at least most of a wheel done on the battery. So we got it kicked up to 3.5 at 6. So let's get started. You wanna work slowly, no pressure. Just let the pad do the work. Watch your edges. Crisscross patterns. Always watch your backing plate. Try to keep the rotation going. Just be careful, be cognizant of where you're scraping on this plastic here. There's a little plastic ring right here. Watch your edges. Crisscross pattern. like that. You gotta watch what you're doing. Sometimes it can get away from you. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. I want to get up in here a little bit. You see this pad's limping because it's the first time I'm using it. That's okay. Try to stick with the contour, keep the pad going. I'm just holding pressure just to hold it upright. Now you can see, now we did that, your fibers are all clumped up. I'll show you how to fix that. That's where that claw tool comes in. So let's set that there. We have to grab a polishing rag here. All right, so always inspect your towels. There's a little something right there, get it out. Always check them, make sure there's nothing that's going to be in them that can scratch it that's obvious, like a piece of wood or a splinter or a wood chip or a stone or anything stuck in it. Get it picked out. So everything looks good there. So this is an edgeless 365 from the rag company. That's what I use. I think they're good. They're a dual pile towel. So it's a little lower nap here. Over here's got a little higher nap. So I'll start off with the higher nap here. Let's go ahead and get this wiped off, and I'll bring you in and I'll show you how much better it already looks. No, don't apply a lot of pressure here. Not needed. Just trying to get most of the compound off here, where you don't have smear marks everywhere. All you're trying to do here. Takes a little extra time, it's okay, no rush. Get up around the spoke here, top of that edge. And something you do want to watch is your edges. Right here, this is where you're gonna have the least amount of material, so it's gonna be kind of thinner there than it is on these flats here. So it's just natural. Gravity water does not like to sit at the top of the hill, it wants to run to the bottom. So your valleys, like here, are gonna be high, so it's gonna have more material. Highs, they're gonna have less material because it's tried to run away before it cured. So just a little side note there. All right. I always like to try to wipe off as much as I can, and then flip over to the low nap side, go back over it, and that normally mops up the rest of it. Wow, those look a lot better already. God, amazing what it can do. And understand there's still gonna be scratches in these that just are not gonna come out. Get all this wiped out here. If you didn't see the scratches before, wait till I show you right now what it looks like. You're gonna be like, oh, those were scratches. So those are all wiped out. So let's set this over here. Nice clean workbench. Make sure there's nothing there. All right. I bring you in. All right, now we're up close here. Take a look at the difference. See my reflection there? You're starting to be able to see that I have 4 bulbs in my shop lights. Come back over here. Yes, there's still a little bit micro marring. We'll get that fixed up. It still looks pretty rough, but that'll get squared up in the next one. Like I said, I'm not trying to take every last scratch out. Like this one here, this one isn't gonna come out. This one's probably through the material. I'm not gonna find out. I wanna leave as much as I can. Right here on these edges get to be a little rough. If you gotta go back over them, that's okay. I might actually do that to try to clean them up a little bit. But this is what it is now, which still looks rough in the camera. Now let's go over to see what it was. There's quite a big difference there, isn't there? Yeah, you still, and this is what a wool pad does. And that's what I'm using, is a coarse wool. It's not meant for finishing. It's still gonna leave some scratches, which you can see, but it is not this or any of that, because that's what the rest of the wheel looks like. It's gonna have an edge here like that. See all them scratches and the light? Let's go down through here where you can see a light. You can see a little bit of haziness and little micro scratches, but that's gonna get cleaned up in my second step. There's no more major scratches over top like this. It all looks like it'll look like this when we're done. Look, you can see the car in it now. So over here, you can see the car. There's like, it almost looks like there's something on the car when you get down here. It's so beat up. So, I'm gonna go ahead and go through. Let's get back to it. All right, so, as you can see, quite a bit better. It's not perfect. This is where a one cut, as I was saying, one cut finish or one and done pad would probably clean this up to where there wasn't as much haziness. But it also wouldn't remove as many scratches because you're not being as abrasive with it. You're trying to get it done in one. You're trying to clean it up, and same applies to the car paint. So, as you can see, this is a skin grip. I think this is like the iMatch 3 or something like that. I don't know. It's the pencil version. I'll link it up in the description. I'm just using it to see if there's any major scratches that I missed. This will kind of give you what the sun looks, what you'll see in the sun if you're looking for something. So, looks like I got most of that out. That will get touched up when I come back around. So, what I'm gonna do is I'll go ahead and continue on. I'm not gonna touch this lip here. This is, I might touch it right at the end. I see a few little scratches here, but it's a lot harder to see in this brushed aluminum clear than it is on black. Black's always gonna show, your darker color's always gonna show. My yellow car doesn't hardly show any scratches, but hit the right light on it, it looks like spider webs. It's not quite as bad as this wheel, but it's pretty bad. So that'll be the next project I do in the winter after I park it. So I gotta get these done. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna zip around the rest of this, doing the same process. I do want to show you, let's go ahead and clean out that pad. As I said, you can see the fibers are all bound together. That's where this claw tool comes in, Maru Peds. The same people that make this pad, so you just give it a little brushing, give it a little spritz. Don't have to be rough with it. This will help you get rid of some of your lint too. All right, see, fibers look about better. Take your pad, take your air blower. And that'll fluff back up your fibers a lot better. Break them apart to where they do a better cutting. Like I said, this is gonna lint because this is new. So let me go ahead, buzz around this, and I'll bring you back into what for the polishing part. Something I did forget to mention is after you've primed your pad, which I did on the last pass there that you see, the next time you don't have to reprime your pad. Blow it out like I showed you, claw tool, just a couple minor dots. I actually put one too many here. It's okay, I wanted to wipe off the top of that. So you don't need to reprime the pad. It's already primed. It's good to go. So just a couple pea-sized drops, real small on these, because this is a very small pad. So just, otherwise you'll have it everywhere. So just wanted to bring that up. Take that off, put that over there. Actually, we'll throw it up here. Cut mats I'm done with. I always set it out of my way so I never accidentally grab it. I've done that a few times. Boy, you can make a mess. You wonder why things aren't cutting or why things aren't polishing out, and you realize you're using the wrong compound. So towel, same thing, throw it over there, get a new one. All right, new edgeless 365. This is a Rupa is fine. I'll link up, like I said, one that fits the actual plate that comes with this. Unless you guys want to modify it like I did, that's fine. So I always like to kind of just, because I've used this before, I know for some reason Sonak's Perfect Finish for some reason is dusty and dries up in all these pores. I like to give it a little brush. Always like to give it a blowout before I start. You're gonna get a little bit of dusting, that's okay. After the first pass, normally it'll clear up and you won't have so much dust next time. So, shake your chemicals good. You want to get all the oils and the abrasives all mixed together good, because it's been sitting in my cabinet for a while. I haven't used it since I did the back ones, but heck, that was a couple weeks ago now. But I did the back ones maybe even a week ago, so. All right, call that good. Always clean off your top here. I always recommend that. Get in there with a fingernail as much as you can. Get all the crap out, extra stuff, because it's gonna end up out on your pad if not. I open it, get the last little chunk. Now priming a foam pad's a little different. You don't need it all over everything. I put a bunch of little pea-sized drops on there just to get it primed up. Some people say you need to prime, some say you don't need to prime, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of guessing in this, I believe, at this point, so that's why I'm making this video. I don't believe there's only wrong ways to do it. I don't believe there's really a right way to do it. So this is my way of doing it. I get results that I'm happy with. So do the same thing as I did on my other one. Add this around here a little bit. Same thing, I'm gonna do the same sections, 2 at a time. And I can already see the dust coming out of this pad. So I rub that around there a little bit. I'm just gonna get just a little more, just a couple more dots on there now that I spread that out, because this is a dry pad, so I don't wanna be running it dry. Speed 1. We'll spread it out here. Alright, everything's covered. I'm going to finish on speed 3. Actually, you know what? That's something I didn't do. I want to swap batteries. I swap batteries between each step just so I don't have to worry about a battery going dead. Other one's over here on the charger, ready to go. That one on the charger, swap batteries. Speeds will start to slow down on this as the battery starts getting low. And I've been running it what they call 50% for a while, so it was getting ready to go low. The speed you'll start noticing doesn't seem like it does as well. So, but we got that started out. I'm gonna do this on, I'll do this on speed 3. I think it's what I used on the rears. So we'll go with 3 and see what we got. Moving slowly. Make sure we got the pad turning. Crisscross fashion. Crisscross, so up and down, side to side. I like to do a set of each, or 2 sets of each, so 2 up and down, 2 side to side, 2 complete passes. So this is the second round. I'm gonna start with going side to side. No specific order, it doesn't matter. If you want to do it all one direction, it doesn't really make much difference, but that's how I know. Now we're gonna come down the front here. Side, up, down, up, down. Make sure you get down nice and close as you can there to get that weave. Another step back and forth. Another pass up and down. And then move on over here. What you're doing is, because this is a debasing polish, is you're breaking down the abrasives as you go. So they get finer and finer, and because you're finishing, you want to get them to break down as far as you can. So normally doing it 2 rounds of passes, up and down, and then 2 side to side. We normally break it down enough. So. Here, that's the trim. This is a tight area. Pass up and down. Get up in here. All this taken care of. We go to the other one. Get right here first. Same thing. And you'll notice a foam pad works quite a bit different than a wool pad. Just enough pressure, same thing, no difference than whenever I was cutting. Just enough to hold it in place. And you can always come back if you miss something or you feel like you don't like something. It's not the end of the world. Yes, this is kind of an awkward place to be, right here. That's okay, we get it. Back over, up and down, step 1. Back and forth, step 1. Go as close as you can. If you bump the wheel, it's okay. You'll be alright. Pass. Round 2, up and down. Round 2, side to side. And I'm going to run over these tops real quick. And I know they don't get forgotten about. Especially over here, because this will be the way I'm rotating it. And then sometimes I'll even go up in here a little bit further than I need to, just to keep it going. So wipe off, same thing, a little bit higher nap side, wipe off. And you'll find when they're beat up this bad that you may come back, and that's okay. You know, there might be some places you want to touch up because they aren't uniformly scratched, I guess you could say. So, like I said, that scratch I showed you guys at the beginning definitely won't come out. I'm not gonna chase that too hard. It's pretty well down into the metal. And there's spots here that it's chipped up on the edges that it's already into the metal, so there's nothing I can do with that. Like I said, these aren't gonna be perfect. Boy, they'll look a lot better. You get them coated and I'll call them 5-footers. They look good from 5 feet. That's good enough, because most people are 5 foot tall. So, all right, pretty good with that. Let me see. Get a a little bit left. Let me just hit this one spot. Yeah, clean that up nice. Just enough to where the scratches aren't so visible. All right. So, now I will bring you in. All right, so this is what we had after compounding. You can see some haze on this, just a little bit. That's okay. See some scratches, that's all good, because this is what the final product looks like. Look at the lights. I mean, I'm not saying that all the scratches are gone by no means, but rewind the video and take a look at what they were to start. There's our deep scratch, because that's most of what's left. I mean, there's still little scratches right there. You can see kind of the outline as the light hits them. There ain't nothing you can do with that. That's the worst part of it. So, run up the spokes here. All that's good. Not cleaning up all that haziness. So, this is what it is. Whenever it's all said and done. All right, so what you could just see there with that close up, it looks way better. If you don't remember what they look like, I'll put together a little thing at the end, kind of a B-roll of right when I started, right whenever I finished compounding, and then whenever I'm all completely done before I coat them. So I'm gonna go ahead, buzz around this, and then I'll wrap up the polishing portion. Oh, something I forgot to mention. Cleaning out foam pads, same thing. The brush doesn't really matter as much. This is where the compressed air really makes a difference. So, as I said, there was some dusting. That dusting will be pretty much gone. Now that I just did my first pass with that, that's okay. I can live with a little bit of dust. So, all right, let's get on through this. So I went around, you guys see me do this, and then you see me starting this. So now we're back around. I went ahead, spun it around, did the back, and I went ahead and I did just that little lip where the wheel weight is here, probably about that wide. It's a nice smooth spot. I want to get that cleaned up because you'll see that from the front. And then I hit the outside. I mean, there's still clearly scratches in that part, but it's shiny metal, so it doesn't really matter to me. Be all right. There's a little bit of curving here. Just a couple little marks. Got this finished, I'll bring you in, show you what's going on, and wrap this up. Greatly appreciate it, and enjoy the before and afters. I'll catch you in the next one.